Last week we focused on 1 Kings 19, 1 through 15, in which Elijah, the prophet, fled from Jezebel into the wilderness after killing the prophets of Baal, and he went to the Mount of God for refuge. Remember, we talked about him being scared, exhausted, feeling alone, and depressed. He literally asked God for his death. We learned that God helped him through it all and made sure that Elijah had rest and he had food. Remember that great time he woke up from a nap and there was a cake? At the end of last week's scripture, the prophet was given a task of leaving the wilderness and going to a neighboring kingdom from Israel and appointing a new king who would challenge King Ahab, because King Ahab no longer follows the Lord, but he follows Baal. So this week we jump from 1 Kings 19 to 2 Kings chapter 2, and so we have to, of course, bridge the gap a little. So Elijah was feeling alone. He told God that he was alone in the world, and even though God tells him that he's not actually alone, he feels it. Immediately after leaving the Mount of God, the prophet has his orders and he sees Elisha, the son of Shaphat, plowing. He passes him by and he throws his mantle over Elisha in that moment, and they become fast friends. The prophet has a new servant. As expected, King Ahab had issues with the Arameans. King Ahab also decided that once when he was passing by a vineyard that belonged to Naboth, that he wanted it. But the man wouldn't sell it to him. He said, "This is my inheritance. This is God's land. This is God's vineyard, and you can't have it for any price." And the king went home and threw a tantrum like a 4-year-old. His wife came home and she said, "What is wrong with you?" And he said, "Well, I wanted this vineyard and he won't sell it to me." So remember our comparison between Jezebel and Lady Macbeth last week? And so Jezebel says, "I'll get you this vineyard." And she sets it up to have Naboth killed. And the king claims what was not his. So after the death of Naboth, God tells Elijah, "Go and give that King Ahab another prophecy. Go tell the king that his house will be destroyed, that there will be consequences for killing my worker to get his vineyard." In 1 Kings chapter 22, we're told that Judah and Israel team up against Aram, their enemy, and King Ahab was killed in battle, and his son Ahaziah. Logan, be glad that your parents did not name you that, because I would name you like Joe. So his son rules after him, and he continues in his father's footsteps of just being a jerk and worshiping Baal, not the Lord. And so Elijah also denounces Ahab's son's rule, and he gives him a prophecy saying, "You will not live." And he doesn't. And since he has no children, no male heirs, his brother takes over. And that brings us to this morning's scripture. 2 Kings 2, 1 through 2 tells us, "Now when the Lord was about to take Elijah up to heaven by a whirlwind, Elijah and Elisha were on their way from Gilgal. Elijah said to Elisha, 'Stay here, for the Lord has sent me as far as Bethel.' But Elisha said, 'As the Lord lives and as you yourself live, I will not leave you.' So they went down to Bethel." We don't know if anything happens between the death of Ahab's son and this morning's scripture, but if you dig into the Bible and you read those scriptures side by side, they just feel abrupt, like something might be missing. So maybe something was left out in the history. Then again, Elijah's been serving as a prophet and a miracle worker for a while now, and he's been through a lot. He is opposed to kings. And the opening to this morning's scripture shows us that Elijah knows that his time has come. So Elijah and Elisha are leaving Gilgal, and we're told that God is sending Elijah to Bethel. Elijah tells his servant, his friend, his traveling companion, stay here. God is sending me elsewhere. You don't really need to go. There's no need. I know what's going to happen. But his friend tells him that he won't leave him. He says, as the Lord lives and as you yourself live, I will not leave you. This is an important thing in their friendship. Not long ago, Elijah was feeling alone and fleeing for his life. Elisha is the friend he's always needed and vows to stay beside him no matter what. Show of hands if you read or seen Lord of the Rings. The friendship of Elijah and Elisha reminds me of the friendship of Frodo and Samwise in Lord of the Rings. Sam is Frodo's gardener, but also his friend. So he is his servant, but also his friend. And he vows to make the dangerous journey with him to destroy the ring. And they have many conversations along the way, and every time Samwise says, I will not leave you. We are friends. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, there's your Bible reference. Now you can see it. Elijah and Elisha arrive in Bethel, and a company of prophets meet them and foretell the departure of the prophet. Elijah says that the Lord is sending him to Jericho and that Elisha should just stay in Bethel. But again, he refuses and he goes with him to Jericho. And then when they get to Jericho, he says, now the Lord is sending me to the Jordan. You can just stay here. But as predicted, he says, no, I will go with you. And he stays steadfastly devoted to continuing the journey with his friend. 2 Kings 2:6-8 states, then Elijah said to him, stay here, for the Lord has sent me to the Jordan. But he said, as the Lord lives and as you yourself live, I will not leave you. So the two of them went on. 50 men of the company of prophets also went and stood at some distance from them, as they were both standing by the Jordan. Then Elijah took his mantle and rolled it up and struck the water. The water was parted to one side and to the other, until the two of them crossed on dry ground. The two men go to the Jordan with the 50 men of the company of prophets, of the sons of prophets. 50 men stand off to witness what is about to happen. They will witness it and they will report it to others so they can tell of the glory of God. But they give the two friends their space and their alone time. And they're standing there and talking by the Jordan, and Elijah picks up his mantle, the same one with which he called Elisha to follow him, and he strikes the water and he parts it, and the two walk across, showing not only Elijah's a prophet, but also a miracle worker in the same vein as Moses. In verses 9-12, we're told, when they had crossed, Elijah said to Elisha, tell me what I may do for you before I am taken away from you. Elisha said, please let me inherit a double share of your spirit. He responded, you have asked a hard thing, yet if you see me as I am being taken from you, it will be granted you. If not, it will not. As they continued walking and talking, a chariot of fire and horses of fire separated the two, and Elijah ascended in a whirlwind into heaven. Elisha kept looking and crying out, Father, Father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen. But when he could no longer see him, he grasped his own clothes and tore them into two pieces. Elisha looks at his friend and plainly says, what is it that I can do for you before I'm no longer here and can't do anything for you anymore? And Elisha's response is an interesting one. Give me a share of the Spirit, a double inheritance of the Spirit if you can. For Elijah, who felt like he was alone before, this has to mean a lot. Elisha tells him he wants to continue on with the work that he has started. So not only is he his friend, but he wants to be his successor. He hopes that when the prophet Elijah departs from the earth, he can carry on the work of the Lord. Now, Charlie, if I asked you to give me the Spirit of the Lord, what would your response be? That's a good question. Well, how does Elijah respond? He knows that the Spirit of the Lord is not his to grant, right? It's not ours to grant. Only God can grant it. So he tells his friend, if God finds favor with you to take my place, you'll know it because you'll still be able to see me as I go. You'll be able to see everything that happens. This is what God has told me. But if you don't see it, then you're not chosen. So Elijah's telling him, this isn't my decision. And a chariot of fire and horses of fire separate the two, and Elijah ascends into heaven. Remember that fire represents the divine, God at work. And as much as Elijah often reminds us of Moses, not even Moses ascends to heaven. He died and was buried in an unknown tomb on earth. Elijah is the only person in the First Testament to be bodily ascended. And in that, we have a time of rejoicing because we say, the queen, Jezebel, never got him. God kept him safe the entire time. Now, even though he knew it was going to happen, Elisha is obviously upset about the departure of his friend, his companion, his mentor. It's not easy losing someone, even if you know it's going to happen. And he sees the chariots of Israel and he tears his clothes in mourning. But even though he's in mourning, he immediately succeeds his friend. There isn't a delay. This morning's scripture ends with verses 13 and 14. He picked up the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him and went back and stood at the bank of the Jordan. He took the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him and he struck the water, saying, "Where is the Lord, the God of Elijah?" When he had struck the water was parted to one side and to the other, and Elisha went over. He saw the chariot. He saw the fire. He saw the horses. He saw Elijah ascend. With that guarantee that he would be granted the Spirit of God. He'll only know if he tries to use it. And so he calls on the Lord. He says, "I call on the Lord of Elijah." And then he strikes the water with the mantle. There's immediately no question as if he's received the Spirit because the water parts and he can walk to the other side, where the 50 men are probably still standing, witnessing this all, witnessing Elisha coming into his own as a prophet and miracle worker. Friend, successor, prophet, miracle worker. Elijah spotted Elisha at a time in his life and ministry when he felt super low. Elijah could not have felt any lower than he did in that moment. He could not feel any more alone than he did in that moment when he spotted Elisha. And he felt like he didn't want to continue, and then he found someone who would not only serve him, but who would become his equal, who would become his companion on his journey. We don't get fluffy, feel-good, bromance scriptures about Elijah and Elisha sitting by fires at night, talking about the world, their families, and their faiths. We don't get it, but I'd like to believe that it happened. Because how do you get to know someone and trust them? By spending time with them. And so it's obvious that conversations that could never be recorded because there was no one else around occurred. It's obvious that Elijah imparted a vast amount of knowledge to his friend and took the time to make sure that he understood what was going to happen in terms of Elijah's calling as a prophet and what was happening politically in the life of Israel. Remember last week we talked about how just completely messy the politics of Israel and Judah are at this point. I want you to think about a mentor you have had. We've all had a mentor. Someone who has been special to us. Someone who has taken the time to teach us. Someone who has taken the time to talk with us, walk with us, to impart knowledge, to show us how to do something. Maybe our mentor has been in the church. Maybe our mentor is at the place of our work. Maybe our mentor is someone in the community, or even someone in our family, or one of our friends. No matter where that person has been, they've helped shape who we are. They've shaped us and passed the baton, this glittery rainbow baton. They've passed the mantle. Just as Elijah gave his mantle, his jacket, his clothing to Elisha to wear and to carry on. The biblical friendship provides a tutorial for us for discipleship action. The bromance, we will call it, of Elijah and Elisha teaches us a lot about discipleship. We have to ask ourselves, for whom are we seen as a mentor? Who are we nurturing? If our response, collectively and individually, is no one, we need to reevaluate. How are we nurturing them? That's important. We want to teach others what we know. We want to impart that knowledge. We want to encourage people, but we also have to remember that we each have a different part of the journey that we take on. We each have different roles and responsibilities and gifts. And so even though we impart our knowledge, it might not be exactly done the way we want. I'm sure some of my mentors look at me and go, really? This morning's scripture should make us realize that part of our own faith journey and our spiritual discipline must be the discipleship of others. We must feed into others to encourage them. We must nurture people. We must not only seek out people to bring them into the fold, so to speak, but once they're here, we have to spend the time with them. We have to nurture them. We have to talk with them, walk with them, and eventually let them assume the mantles from us. Or if we're on the other side of that, assume the mantles from someone else. Who are your mentors? From whom are you learning? I'll look at the youth in the church. I want you to think about this. Mr. Godel, Mr. and Mr. Sheldhammer, Ms. Stevens. Who are your mentors? From whom are you learning and where? And to the adults, I use loosely, adults. For whom do you serve as a mentor? Who are you nurturing? It should never be an ending process. In fact, it should be a never-ending process, from mentor to mentee, from mentor to mentee. As Elton John sings in The Lion King, it's the circle of life, but it's also the circle of faith. This ends this morning's word. Thanks be to God.